in Mazatlan, which is a lot of fun. Highly recommend. Anybody who doesn't feel like dealing with Rio or New Orleans, Mazatlan's carnival is super fun and way less crowded than those two.
Maybe we should do that next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really chill. I didn't really know what to expect, but we had a good time.
They set up a bunch of stages on the Malecon, like with
on the boardwalk.
Boardwalk. Malecon's the Spanish word. And the ocean is like right behind all the stages, and there's just like a bunch of different bands on the stages. It's really cool.
And awesome street food.
Yeah, really good street food. We did not get food poisoning. And liter margaritas.
Wow.
Wow.
How much do those cost?
Not much. They were like 90 pesos. It was like $4.50, $5.
Less than that.
Yeah, maybe even less. I know.
That's amazing.
Rachel went to order 2 margaritas and came back, and I was like, "What the hell?" She's like, "I didn't realize they were
liters. If
a
I
liter
known that,
each.
I would have just gotten one. But by the time I realized it was too late.
And I like to party. Even I was like, "What?" A liter of margarita?
No, it was totally too late. Whoops.
Yeah, whoops.
It was the night before my birthday.
Yeah, we had to party.
Yeah.
We've been starting to scope out places in Mexico.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
You got a short list? I hope Puerto Vallarta's on there because it's awesome.
We have not even got to the short list point of it yet.
A long list. It's huge, man. There's so much to do here.
It is really huge.
We just kind of decided we'd see what we could, and we can't really like travel a bunch right now. So, well, the good thing about Puerto Vallarta is there's a bunch of different towns up and down the coast. So if you hop on the bus for 30 minutes to an hour, you can have a totally different vibe. And thanks to Airbnb and Hostel World and stuff, you have pretty good options for overnight. Do a lot of 1 or 2 night trips around here, and you get to feel like you're taking a little vacation, seeing something different, but not have to spend a ton of money on the logistics of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Puerto Vallarta is in Banderas Bay.
Yeah.
And so in like the bay, Puerto Vallarta is in the middle. So you could, like Sasha said, go north or south, and there's so many other like cool little beach towns. But the other nice thing about it is that the backdrop of the bay, I suppose you could call it, is the Sierra Madre Mountains.
So we got mountains over there too.
So we've got mountains in the back and then ocean in the front.
Everybody's got mountains in the background.
You got a hill, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it makes it good though. You can say like you summited the highest peak in Bahrain. You could do it in like an afternoon. Don't even have to.
Yeah, man, I climb mountains all the time, man. Like, just look at me in the backyard, man.
Up and down a couple times a day.
Yeah, summited the highest mountain 6 times in one day.
New maximum.
That's funny.
Ali, until when are you staying in Chiang Mai?
I will be here until July 8th, and then I go to Malaysia for a visa run. And I'll be there for a couple of weeks, and then I'll return. And then I think I'm going to go back to the States in August. I have a potential wedding to shoot September 1st, so I haven't been home since October. It's time for me to go home. And when are you coming to Chiang Mai? I was pouring my coffee, but I could hear that you were coming.
Whoa, okay. I was like, yo, how did she know? I'm coming I think in August, maybe.
And
you guys might just miss each other.
What part of August? Like the beginning, or?
Actually, it'll be like beginning of July. I'll come to Bangkok, like stay 1 month in Thailand, then do the visa run as well. But it'll be in Laos, and then probably like beginning of August, I'll fly to Chiang Mai or a bus, depending on.
Or you could take the slow boat. It's very slow.
Yeah. Oh, you can take the boat.
From Lo Prabang to the border, it's really beautiful. Yeah, you can even do it like an overnight thing if you really wanted to. When you stay in Pak Bang, I think it is. Something
like that. I forget. Yeah, when we did it, we had to get off the boat or just sleep on the boat or sleep on the shoreline there because it got too dark and we didn't get far enough. So all these people who like paid for a room that night, they were just like, yeah, sorry, we're not going to make it to that hostel. I was like, this is why we didn't pay for the room up front. They were trying to get people like, you can pay for the hostel tonight. I was like, I'll wait and see. Like, there might not be enough rooms. I'm like, I'm sure there are enough rooms for the people on this boat. And sure enough, we didn't make it there. It was so funny. Like the scramble to the little shop, if you want to call it that, on the boat where they just had like instant noodles and a few candy bars was people ready to like tackle each other to get that thing of ramen noodle.
It got a little Hunger Games-ish.
It got a little Hunger Games-ish for sure.
It's such a slow ride. They couldn't just speed up a little. What?
No, they're like, it's Lao. Please don't rush, right? It's like, just chill out, right?
I was the only one on my boat. Like it was like a new company,
Really?
and I was one person. I had my own chef, my own tour
Damn.
guide. Like,
That's pretty sweet.
It was
You were
great.
spoiled.
We had a pretty full boat when we did it, but it was like January. It was high season, so to be expected.
There
Yeah,
are
you got
two,
lots of options for Thailand to Lao. It's great.
there are two places in Laos, right? Like I think Luang Prabang and then
Luang Prabang,
Viet.
yeah. It's
And
nice
then
there.
the one with the V with the
Bang
tubing.
Bang Bien?
Vang Bien,
Yeah.
With the
where
tubing?
you can go tubing.
In the tubing?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
tubing is fun.
Okay.
I think it's
It's a
like
lot of
less fun than it used to be now, but
Well,
probably
in my-
more safe.
In my personal opinion, I think it's better than it was before because the first time we went was in January of 2011. Here's Sasha's awesome shirt.
In the tubing.
Oh yeah, I've got the yellow version.
And 2011 was the year that things like really went wrong for Vang Vieng. I think that was the year that like some outrageous number, like 22 kids died or something. So it was like at the beginning of 2012 where they shut it all down.
Mhm.
And then like that town just shut down because the tubing on the river is the whole reason that town existed in the first place. So, people had to close their hostels, close their restaurants, close everything. And so then they came back in and allowed 3 bars to reopen. And I think like the chief of police owns one of the bars. So there's only 3 bars and it's highly regulated, but it's honestly much better than it was before. It's much safer. They don't have any of like the crazy water slides and rope swings anymore. And there still is like the one bar, the monkey or other. It's
Monkey?
no, that's somewhere
That's
else.
Cambodia.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's Cambodia. Anyways, something monkey related bar is like this super loud, crazy, let's play a bunch of drinking games bar, but it's the only one. And it's still beautiful. Like we actually had a much better time the second time we went and there were only 3 bars.
Okay, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's good to know. Less chances to die. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
lucky that I didn't die the first time. So
There's way less chances to die now.
Way less
The
chances.
death swing has been torn, or death slide has been torn down.
Yeah.
Been moved to Chiang Mai.
That's,
Yeah,
it's
Chiang
in the
Mai's
mode.
awesome. You're gonna like it there.
Yeah,
We've
Chiang
never
Mai's
lived
super
there,
cool.
but we've been through quite a few times.
You went to Dubai.
And
Yeah,
it's
I'm
the digital nomad capital of the world. Isn't
It
that
is.
why we should talk about it tonight?
yeah, definitely. Do you want to kick off what we're actually talking about?
So why is it? Why, is it because it's so close to everything else, like in distance-wise, that you can go in Thailand and then Vietnam, and why is it the nomad capital?
So I don't know how
Who's there now?
it
Who should
started,
answer?
but I think it's just like a bunch of nomads are there now, which means there's a
Cheap
nomad.
rent, good internet, good food, lots of cafes, co-working spaces.
Yeah.
With AirAsia and budget Thai airlines, I guess it's super easy to get in or out of Chiang Mai via Bangkok or Ho Chi Minh or Kuala Lumpur. I mean, it's a pretty convenient hub, and you got all those things. We've never like rented a place there because we've only been for days at a time. But I always hear people getting like nice 2-bedroom apartments for like $300-$400 a month max. I mean, that's
That's you, Ollie, isn't it?
what's that?
That's Ollie.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah,
studio. It was
so.
$115 a month,
Yeah,
including
well,
my
there you go.
Jesus
God.
I
That's
did
awesome.
not have a kitchen.
It did not have a kitchen. Okay.
That's Chiang Mai.
But it had aircon and it was clean, new building. But yeah, with electric and water, it came to like around 125, 130.
So there's a big
Wow.
reason right there. Cheap rent. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cheaper than a night out and drinking over here.
It is.
Yeah. Where are you guys?
In Orlando.
Okay.
A lot of people think it's like expensive to travel,
Yeah.
Probably
How do you make it work? Like, how much should you save up to travel from city to city?
Oh, I don't know. I always kind of think that it is a little expensive to travel. Hence why we've been kind of hunkered down here in Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Because when you are when we did our big backpacking trip, and you're moving what every 4 days, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That added up so much because of the buses, the trains, the motorbikes, the taxis. And you're always getting a nightly rate, So when you do that, travel can kind of be expensive, right? When you're moving that quickly. But when you're like using Airbnb and VRBO, stuff like this, and getting places for a month at a time, or joining Facebook groups and finding a place for 3 to 6 months, you're going to get like serious discounts on your rent. And then if you're in a cheap place like Chiang Mai, or even here, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I think travel. Yeah, when you're moving around, that makes it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, when you're moving around, that's really where it gets expensive. Like even in Southeast Asia, where you can get really nice accommodation for like on Airbnb, most cities you could find something for like $30 a night.
Easily.
Yeah, but then if you're still paying if you're paying like $150 to fly twice a month or something like that, the costs go up a lot when you move around more.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But to answer your question though, I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is. Female part of Ryan.
I'm Ashley. Nice to meet you.
Ashley, nice to meet you. It really depends where you're going. With how much money you need. We saved up way more money when we traveled Europe than when we traveled South America. Way more money.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But isn't digital nomad supposed to be like making money while you're on the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we've transitioned into. Our first big trips, we saved a bunch of money, spent all of our money, came back, had to get jobs, worked. And we did that twice and we're like, this isn't sustainable. Yeah, it was just becoming get home, we're have credit card bills, we're trying to save money. It just wasn't enjoyable. So we tried to figure out a way to be more sustainable with that. So now we work remotely.
How about you, Youssef? I'm sorry I came a little bit late, but where are you from? I see the España in the background.
No, man, that's actually, I put flags in my room.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'm from Bahrain, man. Bahrain is a small country, man.
Is that where you were raised and that's where you're living right now? Or are you doing the digital nomad thing?
No, I'm actually just trying to explore it. In July, I'll be in Bangkok. That's the
cool.
beginning of nomad, yeah. But I lived and raised here, yeah.
Same with me. I'm in Orlando, Florida.
All right. You traveling anytime soon?
To Spain. Yeah, but I'm going to go country to country, and Chiang Mai is looking really high on my list.
Oh, man. Come over there, man.
All these posts over there, she's getting all this awesome food. I want to get in on that.
I don't think, because you don't follow me on Instagram, but I got food poisoning from all that awesome food this week.
What was that? Oh, did you really? That one else? Oh, brutal.
It happens.
Yeah, but it happens no matter where you go.
Yeah.
But,
true.
Yeah.
Even in Canada, my friend actually got food poisoning from lunch yesterday. I was like, really? I'm fine. Ryan's like, probably because we were just in Asia eating way sketchier food than Canadian sushi.
Yeah, your stomach can handle it.
It was good. It was good sushi. I don't even know how she got sick. Yeah, we're inland, but it's Canada.
It's Ali, you're a photographer?
I'm sorry?
You're a photographer?
I am, yes.
I'm checking your Instagram.
Feel free to follow. My Instagram is I've changed the direction. It's more market based. So yeah, it's all about market.
Looked up on Instagram,
if you
Rachel.
scroll further down, you'll see a lot of other travels. Yeah.
Here, Rachel will add you too. She loves Instagram.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm trying I don't know how to make money with photography, in Thailand at least. So I'll just try to explore that.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's good. It started with the hostel. The hostel gave me 2 weeks free accommodation, meals, and all of that, just to make videos for them. So that's a good start, I guess.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
awesome.
A lot of doors will open up, I think.
Have you looked at Workaway?
No, I looked at a website called World Packers.
World Packers?
Yeah,
World Packers?
Yeah, you can check it out. It's you can do voluntary, you can be a teacher in school, for example, in China, or you can work in hostel. You can actually do community work, where you build a house in Africa. different stuff. You choose like based on the
Write
city.
that down in the chat before we forget.
Yeah, you guys did a good job with that last week, telling us, how to get teaching jobs left and right. And there's a lot of resources that I kept in a private folder, not a private folder, but in a separate folder that I can just go to when I go over there in case this doesn't work out over here. I'm just going to just hit that with the ground running. And Youssef, you should probably check out the previous podcast that they had or just the video chat. Posted up a lot.
How can I check it?
I
think it's on YouTube.
I can't remember if we posted it yet. But yeah, Rachel and Sasha last week kind of walked us through a ton of good stuff about teaching English, especially teaching English in Asia. So that might be of interest as well.
Yeah, teaching English remotely with not even having to know the native tongue, which is badass.
That's what we're doing now, yeah. But it's fun on the ground too. I mean, I kind of miss my on the ground job a lot. It's awesome the freedom we have now to like make our schedule week to week and add classes here and take them away there, right? And that's really cool. And yeah, we're in Mexico and we can still do the job, but definitely a lot of times I miss that job we had there, or all of our jobs, because you get to interact more with people, and like we taught adults for a while where you actually kind of made friends and could actually have conversations. Now I teach kids and it's like, bat.
I do sometimes miss the interaction, because when you're new in a country, your coworkers are some of the first friends that you'll make,
right?
And that's certainly a downfall to.
I teach by myself in one room, and she teaches by herself out here.
Lifestyle is like you're working from home, so I think that's like the beauty of co-working spaces. Is those are a great place to go and meet people. But yeah, for the most part, I do miss going to an actual job. I don't miss having an actual job. I just miss going.
The social aspect.
Yeah, the social aspect, if that makes sense.
We're in a fortress of solitude
here. Like
Sasha
said, like I really enjoyed teaching adults, and I actually got so much out of teaching adults because they had so much to teach me as well. Like I learned so much about Chinese history and culture and all kinds of things that I wouldn't know otherwise. But yeah, now we're teaching kids, and they're cute and they're fun, but I don't.
That's how we're digital nomads. We need to keep it on topic.
Yes, digital nomads.
It's super informal all over the place. So.
Yeah, we can just talk about whatever. We don't have a structured plan. This is about you guys. It's not about us.
So the last conversation, you guys talked about joining a Facebook group, Digital Nomads. You guys just said, hey, go out there and just look on Facebook, Digital Nomads, and started searching. And then I was surprised to see that all these people were like, hey, I'm working alone in Malaga right now. Does anybody want to come by for a drink or stay here for a couple of days? And it's kind of like not couch surfing, but it's just digital nomadism at its best. Yeah. People are saying, hey, I got this place. Why don't you come over? And, later down the road, maybe I'll have a cool spot and invite some other people over. We make our own workspaces. I'm trying to find something more, like I'm trying to connect more in tune to that, because that's exactly what we do.
That's a really good idea.
So you had some success finding ones in Spain as well?
Yeah, what groups did you join? I'd be curious to hear. I've only joined the one for Medellin because we're trying to go there in September. So I joined that group specifically for that city, and there's a lot of cool things going on in there.
Right now, and I'll put it in the chat. I think it was just Digital Nomads Spain.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Spain.
I mean, yeah, there's probably one for a lot of places.
There's probably like a big community that does that as well.
Yeah, I'll put another one in the chat, Youssef, for Chiang Mai's Nomad Coffee Club.
I'm gonna get the rolly chair. It's too hot in here.
Thanks, man.
Ali, just regarding photography in Chiang Mai, how have you been able to find gigs there, or how has that been?
I don't have a work visa, but I have worked illegally a little bit.
Hypothetically, if you were to have gigs, how would that go?
Well, the paying job I got, I actually did a food shoot for free for Anantara, that huge hotel and resort company, but because my friend is the chef there. So I did a bunch of food photography, and then after the fact, the general manager was like, oh, you're like really a photographer. And I was like, yeah. When I left after the meeting, he told my friend, he's like, we need to pay her. I want to pay her what we paid the last photographer, which never happens. Who says we're not going to pay you? Maybe we'll give you like a barter, like spa credit or something. I was like, you know what? I need some new photography. It's helping my friend out. Like, why not? But then they wound up paying me. I mean, it's it's high rate. So compared to in the US, it's not that great. But I was like, that's pretty cool. And now they want me to shoot some of their hotel rooms and suites now. So I'll be going back and doing another job for them. And it's been discussed that I will be paid for anything moving forward.
Yeah.
So
how about this? Go on Airbnb in that area and start messaging people with the Airbnb and see if they want professional photography done with their homes, and kind of set up like a course type network thing where you could just get paid for the photos. But I mean, when you look on Airbnb, somebody takes a picture with an Android or iPhone, this does not look the same.
Yeah, I've seen some really bad photos on Airbnb.
Off of that, possibly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's
including
such a
our
good
apartment
idea.
now, right?
what was
When we found our apartment here in Puerto Vallarta, it was so cheap on Airbnb, and I was like, well, your photos kind of suck. Like, can't you send me anything better? And she sent me like even worse cell phone pictures.
No, she sent you the exact same one.
Yeah, but then like a few ones that were worse. And I'm like, whatever, it's so cheap. She promised me the internet was going to be fast
It
enough.
was pretty uncertain. We
Yeah.
really didn't know what to expect before we got here.
It was
showed
like
up, I'm
some beige white color. It was a
Yeah.
blurry couch looking thing.
We knew she had stuff in the kitchen, and we knew she had a bed and a couch and a TV. And that's like really all we knew.
It worked out okay in the end. We did have to buy a bed frame. That was lacking, but
Yeah, we bought a bed frame and a desk.
I needed a desk.
But other than that, it worked out really well in the end. Like the Wi-Fi is good enough. The apartment itself is good enough.
For what we pay, it's great.
Yeah, for what we pay, it's awesome.
Yeah, what are prices like there?
It wasn't taken because there were such bad photos. I mean,
Uh,
it'll break something, you know?
I mean, they were like I could tell from the photos that there were 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a living room, a kitchen. Like I could see it on the map. You know, her English was good enough. She's a local here from Puerto Vallarta here, but her description was good and her communication through email was good. So for the price, I was like, whatever, it's necessary. We had to like hunker down and stay put for a while, and spending less on rent is ideal in that situation. But somebody asked what the rent is like here. Ours is just unreasonably cheap. It's way cheaper than average, I think.
We pay $200 a month, but generally I believe $400 a month is the lowest you can get. Like we have a friend that lives in a 1-bedroom apartment, but it's
downtown,
the old town,
yeah.
And she's got this amazing ocean view. But it's a 1-bedroom, and it's $400 a month.
And it wasn't really furnished.
It had bedroom furniture, but other than that, she like built her own sort of couch, kind of, and had like this kind of like table.
It's cool. It works.
No, it's really cool. She had this table put in that you can like, it can go up against the wall to like create more space, or you can like have it down and use it as like a place to eat and stuff. But I think cool. Like generally for prices are around $400 to $800 US a month
for a decent apartment that's furnished, that includes, you know, your utilities and stuff.
What would you say? So that's like the cheap end. What's like
so cheap?
The average end of what people are paying in Puerto Vallarta?
Probably like $700 to $800 for this is a 2-bedroom place, but
$600 to $800.
Yeah, and also the average people don't want to live in where we live. We live in like a super local hood that's not really close to the beach at all, or like, you know, the bustling part of the town where there's all the bars and restaurants and shops and spas and stuff. Like we have stuff around us. We have shops and restaurants and a park, laundromat, you know, beer stores, everything you need to get by, a gym, but it's not like near the action. So that's why ours is super cheap. And it's kind of like, it's almost like a house sit. I think the lady who owns it wanted someone to be here kind of more longer term and was willing to cut a super cheap price for, you know, committing to a few months. So she didn't have to like play handing keys off through family and, you know, dealing with new tenants and getting someone to come clean the place. It's like, oh, you guys want to stay for 4 months? Okay, just give me $200 a month and we'll call even.
Wow.
So we really like that, and that's why we stayed. But I mean, I think most people who come here to maybe just stay for a month or two, they're spending probably more like $600 to $800 a month for a furnished place, which still isn't bad. You know, when it's furnished,
still pretty cheap.
Yeah, and these are places that are like downtown where you can walk to the beach, you know, walk to the brewery. Like, we don't really trust ourselves to live downtown either. We like to go out too much. There's this like, you know, boundary between us and downtown. It's like, well, we got to catch a bus or we got to pay for a cab. So maybe we should just stay home because we got to get up so early to teach. which
we probably are slightly more productive and get slightly more sleep than we would if we lived closer to the
Exactly.
action.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, getting up at 6 a.m. hungover and trying to be like high energy
Not
for
fun.
a 4-year-old
we're
would be.
teaching at 6, so we got to get up at like 5:30 to like
Yeah.
get the crust out of your eyes and
It's not fun.
comb your hair and
That must be maybe one of the situations where it better just keep drinking. Don't go to
Yeah, yeah. It sometimes.
Sometimes we've never done that though.
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh,
when
in
we were
Vegas,
in
right?
Vegas.
She did that in Vegas one night. Yeah.
I have done that before.
But in Vegas, she had to start teaching at 3:30, so it was like, we were out until 2. I think at that point, it's like, well, you really just have to go for it. You
yeah, my
can't
class
sleep.
started at 3.
It's
which
3,
is, that was fine. I think having to go all the way until 6, that would be hard. But going and starting to teach at 3, that wasn't so bad. And we were there for a run of concerts anyway, so it kind of helped me switch my body clock
and get ready for like the
get
late
ready
nights.
for like staying up late after the concerts and whatnot.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's so funny.
When you teach children, they don't really know you're drunk, but if it's like older people, they're like,
right.
Well,
they're like, I know you.
We're online, so it's even better because they can't even smell us.
One time, Sasha made me a tequila drink in a coffee mug while I was teaching. We were teaching at night. It wasn't 6 a.m. We were actually teaching at night, and it was like a Friday or Saturday night. But yeah, he made me a tequila drink in my coffee.
Tequila and squirt. Tequila and squirt? Is that what you have?
No, this is tequila and tequila and ice.
That's a great one.
That works.
Tequila and squirt is a good, if you need a little something, right? Like Rachel's not a big fan of the straight tequila.
There is good though.
Oh yeah, she's coming around to it here.
So Yusuf, how much is it a place in like Bahrain? If I wanted to go somewhere over there and discover, how much could I get a place for a month? Like say,
like I don't really know. Why would you come here? Because
to climb the mountain.
Mountain climbing.
I don't care so much about the beauty. I want to experience different cultures.
Oh man, for sure. If you come here, it'll be a nice place. You probably can find like a furnished apartment for. I gotta convert the money, so 400 maybe. I think like maybe $1,000 or something like that. 1,000 to.
Not going there. Hey, I like to see you, but not so much.
Get 6 Chiang Mai
We go for a
apartments
week
instead.
That's a lot of months in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's looking so much better day after day.
That's our rent here since February.
It's exactly what it is. It's like very expensive to live here.
Yeah.
That's why I like go travel, and because whatever I'm gonna pay here, I'm probably gonna pay there for like 2 or 3 months.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to just stay here and just say travel expensive, no?
No,
Yep.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's been like our whole philosophy for going remote and then going around. So it's like our family and friends are like, why don't you just stay in Canada? And we're like, do you know how little we pay to be in like Asia or South America compared to here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even like here in
my
Canada.
friends last year were like, how do you afford to live in Bali? I was like, how do you afford to live in Chicago? I don't get it. It's just this, I don't understand that either, man. Like Bali was way cheaper than Chicago. The flight over there is expensive, sure, but once you're on the ground in some of these places, how can you not afford to live there? I mean,
yeah, I think in Bali we had a nice room to stay at that was
like
$350 for the month. We paid for like a really nice co-working space, and that was I think $170 for a whole month, which was like expensive. But that kind of covered working and living for under $500 a month. And then you could just go out and eat like a king for, $10 and $15 a day.
Nasi campur all day, every day.
Yeah.
But you could get away with like $2 if you were eating Indonesian food.
Oh man, I ate nasi campur like 5 days a week.
If you went only veg, if you got only vegetables, you could pay less than $1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, I gotta ask you, like, what's like the first thing you would do, like when you're like, for example, I arrive in Chiang Mai. Like I have 1 month there. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like at the beginning, like, did I find a place to stay, or should I find like co-working place? How does it start with?
Like, what are your priorities? Like, are you looking to like, find opportunities to make money and stay there longer term?
I know I'm only gonna stay for 1 month. I can like edit. I want to focus on my YouTube channel, so I know that I always like will be editing videos and like doing like daily videos, but it will be a plus if I can like find a paid job, or maybe like Ali, like find a small gig, just like to get free meals maybe, or free one night stay, whatever it is.
Yeah, so I think Ali probably has some great ideas on this. One idea that has jumped to my mind before, so every week the Nomad Coffee Club meets, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs and digital nomads come together. And there's another entrepreneurship meetup too. With photography skills, I feel like if you went in there and offered to do something like, hey, because there's an opportunity to give announcements, but you could come in and say like, hey, if anyone here wants a free headshot super quick, like we can go somewhere near here, I'll give you like a free headshot. And just as a way to like initially meet, you know, a ton of people, provide some value for them and open the door to opportunities. But that's one idea that jumps to mind.
I bartered for some headshots. I bartered some. I had gone to one of these digital nomad meetings, and afterwards people kind of hang out and you chat, and I met a woman who was just starting her kind of career coaching, and she we wound up bartering. I did some professional headshots for her LinkedIn profile, and since then we exchanged time for time, and I've gotten like some career coaching type I guess sessions, if you will, and it's been helpful. It's been good. She's helped me be a little more structured because I procrastinate a lot. So but there's definitely opportunity. Other people had I think 2 other people had asked me about doing a barter, but both of them, ironically enough, were also career coaches, and I was like, I kind of already have one. So
yeah, there's a lot of career coaches out there, huh?
Yeah.
They're all self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
Is that the new yoga teacher?
I found out after the fact. Yeah. I was like her guinea pig. But there's so many opportunities to meet people and network, and I mean, it's incredible here. I mean, I could go to a different event every single day, you'd have to pick between what you want to go to. You know, they have Bitcoin thing, they have social things. Like there's like a group that got together that every Saturday or Sunday morning they do a hike up to Doi Suthep, which is a big temple.
Up there, yeah.
Go hiking and become social. You know, it's a lot of social. You know, there's like a cool thing that's been going on that I've been going to, which is about the war in Burma that people don't know about. It's the world's largest ongoing civil war, apparently, and documentaries and art shows. And I mean, you name it, there's something here for you, you know? And it's a great way to meet people for sure. And they seem really helpful. I don't go to as much as I probably should, you know, but yeah, you'll find a way, you know, and there's a lot of artists, you know, so if you're talking about video, there's a ton of artists. And the workspaces, like my friend was doing Pun Space, which is a big one here in Chiang Mai, and they had like a big Friday night out, like everyone went and hung out after they'd all worked on their own thing at Pun Space. And that's just a workspace, you know, it's all a bunch of strangers sitting at a desk or whatever, and they're like, hey, let's organize, let's do something all together, you know. So
what's these meetups usually at night?
Yes. Yep. Usually
that would be our problem if we came to Chiang Mai. We would have to teach at night there.
Every night.
What's the cost of the community workspace?
I mean, we can change our schedule, but I was just thinking.
I think Nomad Coffee Club's usually like 4 p.m. So I think it'd probably be like before you had to teach.
At 4 or something.
We probably won't be back in Thailand for at least a year, so
yeah,
it's not of immediate concern.
Yeah.
Brian, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was asking what's the cost on like the co-work spaces over there, like in Chiang Mai? Do they actually charge, or is it just free Wi-Fi?
Well, you can go to a number of cafes and like
not cafe, but like they have like pop-up co-worker spots.
Oh, the workspaces. Then you have to pay. Yeah, for sure. Pun Space is a really popular one, and you can pay. You can pay by the day. You can pay by the week. Some by the month. I've never done a workspace. I've thought about it because if I have to pay to work, then I'll actually work. I won't like procrastinate. I'm like, go do yoga or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's a way I think to make you a little bit more diligent. But I know Pun Space. I just asked my friend who's been working there, and it's $6 a day, which I think is a little bit on the high side for Chiang Mai. But she did like a monthly rate because she just needed to get work done, and it had her focused, and it was cheaper than $6 a day, but it depends on the space.
That's cheaper than
didn't you guys get a month in Ubud? Yeah.
Yeah, we actually did 2 months there. And it's like, I think it was like $150 each for the month, which seems really expensive, but when you're going there every day, and you can choose different packages. We chose the unlimited package. It was so good. Like, we had great internet. We were able to like backlog interviews. We were able to do all of our calls that we needed to do. We had access to like Skype rooms and private booths and like food every day, and free coffee.
Yeah, it's not a bad price.
Phone, you know, like you don't even have to get a SIM card for your phone because when you're there, you just can connect with the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Bali is actually the only place in Asia that we didn't get a SIM card, and people are like, "Why didn't you get a SIM card?" And we're like, "Because we go from our space to a restaurant to the co-working space to the yoga studio back to where we're staying, and all of them have Wi-Fi. So it's like we don't really need Wi-Fi while we're walking down the streets
Motorbike trips in Bali, the SIM card comes in handy. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was. I'd say I think it is a really good investment though, especially when you start somewhere, because it's a really great opportunity to meet people. Like, there's always a ton of events happening that like are specific to the co-working space, and like usually people there are like, you know, there's like people there because they're working, and that's like a good place to find opportunities. And also I found it productivity wise really helpful to just have a separate location to like go to that's like specifically focused on doing stuff. So instead of like having this urge to procrastinate at home, like go to the co-working space and like that's where I work.
We've never done a co-working space either, but I would really like to join one at some point, somewhere, for that very reason. Because I mean, yeah, Sasha was pointing at me, which I mean, he's poking fun, but I'm definitely bad at procrastinating. And when I need to get something done, all of a sudden I notice everything else, you know, that needs to be done. There's a multitude of shiny things, so I think going to a co-working space would definitely be better for me. We should do it at some point in the future.
You should find a job that pays you, and then you can pay for a co-working space.
Yeah, I think that's like the tough thing is like when you're not making a ton of money and you're in a developing country or like a more affordable country because of that reason, it's kind of like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? For us, we found it was really good because like it's like direct correlation of how much time and effort we put into our business is how much money we get out. It's like we start making more money when we're more productive, and we were way more productive in the co-working space. And just being like the value of like the Facebook group that we're a part of now is kind of like people are always doing exchanges, and people are always looking for people to do things like who wants to come on a photo shoot today, or even who wants to go hike the volcano or something like that. So
could you post that one up in the chat?
Yeah, we can type in the chat. There's a couple in, oops, just auto-corrected me. There's a couple in Bali in general. This is the one that we did. There's 2 in Ubud. What's the other one called?
Dojo. I think it's called Dojo. No, that's Canggu. Yeah, I can't remember.
There's another one as well that's in Ubud, but I don't know. There's
one in Sanur too. We never went, but we lived in Sanur, and I know there was one there.
Sanur,
yeah.
I think it's
Bali
called Rumah
has so
Sanur.
many.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Is everybody drinking right now?
No, we just have water.
No,
Cheers.
Maybe we should.
I heard tequila. I see white wine.
We probably do have some tequila.
We've got some beer.
That's a lot of water.
Well hydrated.
I'm getting super hydrated. It's getting hot here and humid.
I've got water as well.
Down here is Ramadan, right? So I'm
fasting.
What time is it everywhere?
5:20 a.m.
Whoa, you're up early.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow, you got up early for this.
Yeah, thanks for getting up so early.
The naughtiest one, you know, staying up late.
So you haven't gone to sleep yet?
No. Yeah, because I was waiting for this podcast, actually.
Oh, cool.
Night owl. You're a super night owl.
How about you, Ollie?
It's 9:17 here now, so I got up at 8 for this because it started at 8:30 my time.
It was the summer solstice. There's like all these huge parties today that we all missed out on all over the world.
What?
The summer
huge
solstice
party going on on TV tonight. Not that I know of, at least.
So there's like a bunch of parties, Stonehenge and Thailand. There's tons of parties that went on.
Well, the
But they
party's
want
where you
cheap
are,
dates.
Brian.
Probably, yeah.
What's that?
The party's where you are, mate.
I guess so, right? It's all in your head, isn't it?
Yeah, bro. So,
I didn't
guys,
even
like,
know
give
about
a
that.
recommendation. Like, yeah, in Chiang Mai, like, should I like Google it or should I just go there, ask the locals, like, hey, what's the cheapest place? Because I'm sure I can find a better deal when I go there than like get up now.
For an apartment, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple groups you can join ahead of time. It's like Chiang Mai real estate. You can definitely, I can try and find those and write the link up. What I did is I stayed with a friend that I had made from a previous time I was here, and then I don't know, I wasn't even intending to get an apartment, but I woke up and I was like, I just want to check out apartments, and we just walked from apartment building in his neighborhood. It was Nathan's.
Yeah.
And so you just walk into like the management office and say, hey, do you have any studio apartments or 1-bedroom apartments, and what are the rates, and can you show me? And they just walk you up and you take a look and yes or no. A lot of them do have like there was a few that I couldn't even look at because they have like 3-month minimums, but there's plenty that have 30 days, and doing the walk-in process is going to be a lot cheaper than Airbnb. Airbnb is going to be a lot more expensive. But what I recommend you to do would be to come stay at a hostel or wherever you're going to stay, maybe, and book out for, I don't know, 3-4 days to start. And then you could do like a little bit of apartment hunting. Before you come, join one of the expat groups or digital nomad groups and say, hey, I'm going to be coming to Chiang Mai. I want to stay somewhere for a month or whatever it may be. Does anyone know anything? Any apartments? Anyone looking for a roommate? I mean, you can kind of do a little work beforehand. But I think that once you get here is a good way to do it, to find the cheapest and the best deal. If money's not like a huge thing, well then yeah, you can do like Airbnb or something like that.
All right. Is there a specific location in Chiang Mai? Because I'm not really sure how big is Chiang Mai.
Yeah, Chiang Mai is not huge. The big kind of expat area, and I've lived in 2 spots now, is the Niman area. Let me spell that out for you properly. Niman. The Niman area is really popular. I lived in between Niman and Santitao. I'll make a list because I don't want to misspell it for you. Right now I'm living over by the Night Bazaar, which is fine. I mean, everything I need is there. But Chiang Mai is basically like, everyone kind of refers to it as like the old city. So it's a square, and it's like 1 mile by 1 mile by 1 mile by 1 mile. And then there's streets off of that. So it's all kind of in relation to Old Town. So a lot of people like to live in the Old Town or a little bit off of that. So when you get closer, if you're looking, are you trying to stay in Chiang Mai for a month?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to friend me on Facebook, I can answer some more questions to you directly as you get closer to being here, and I can send you some links to some, some Facebook groups that I think could be helpful.
Perfect. I mean, in the end, I know, like, we plan, but once you land there, somebody tells you, all right, let's do this, and everything just, like, happens spontaneously, That's usually how it is, but just want to be, like...
happen more organically than you think it would be. Yeah, I didn't think that I was going to find an apartment. I had no intention of staying. I was going to stay for like 9 days and then go to Myanmar, and then I got an apartment. Oh, Niman. Oh, Amanda got it there. Yep.
Did I spell it right?
And that's the neighborhood you guys stayed in, right, Amanda?
Yeah. Yeah, we just happened to like chance upon finding it too. We're like, this place looks cool. And then it ended up being like so good. We could walk to Nomad Coffee Club. We could walk to Camp, which is another co-working space that Ryan really liked working at. The Starbucks is right there, so they've got good Wi-Fi, and good place to work. Like all the cafes were right there, and all the good restaurants. So
yeah, it's like one major street with a number of side streets coming off of it, and it's just cafes and restaurants and tourist shops and stuff piled on top of each other there.
Massage parlors,
bars, yeah, all the expat stuff.
The fish that eat the dead skin off your feet. Those kind of spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I give you good price.
Where do you guys live? Where you guys live right now? Is there a lot of haggling in prices and stuff? Because I realize some countries are accustomed to that. We haggle on price, and then some are just like, that's the price, and pay it or fuck it off, really.
Not really in Mexico here. There's not a lot of haggling.
I bet if we went to that market downtown, though.
There's like a market downtown with like knicknacks and stuff. I'm sure we could haggle there, but we like haven't done that.
You can haggle there, any of like the little tourist markets.
Oh, it's not something I'm looking for. It's something I could like. I don't want to like.
Well,
just
like in China, you had to haggle a lot. In Indonesia, we had to haggle a lot for sure.
Yeah.
For just general everyday things, you don't.
Vietnam, you haggle a lot. Yeah.
Like too much.
Asia's very big on the haggling, except like Korea and Japan. I don't know. They're kind of straight up with the price.
Yeah, I kind of enjoy it. It's like, I feel like it makes everything a game. Like you're just going to get something, but it's like now become a game.
It can get a little addicting sometimes. Like when we were in China, there are like a lot of markets where it's just like this huge building, and it's honestly like being inside the internet. Like they just have everything you could possibly imagine.
And you could haggle for all of it.
We would go there just for fun, like not intending to buy anything, but like we would walk by something and see something that looked cool, and they would just shout a price at us. And then it kind of becomes a game to see like, oh, well, how cheap can I get this for? And then you get to a point and you pretty much like have to buy it because you wasted like 30 minutes of their time just like trying to get them down to a price.
Yeah, I like Chiang Mai for one of those reasons that there's not a lot of haggling. Like, I don't mind the haggling thing, but when I was in Vietnam, I started to get like burnt out on it. Like I got exhausted. Like going to a pharmacy. The day that I went to a pharmacy to get contact lens solution and hand sanitizer, and she came at me with a price where I had bought the same thing like previously, she doubled or tripled it. I'm like, I can't even go to the pharmacy.
Yeah, that's too much.
Contact lens solution without like, no, lady, no, absolutely not. And having to haggle, that can be tough. I mean, you haggle for food. I've haggled for hotel room hotel rooms. Like, no, you can give me better rice. Special discount. We're friends, right?
Special friend price.
Special friend price for sure.
Always special friend price.
You have nice discount for me? Yes. But Chiang Mai, the only thing I really ever haggle for is if I take like a tuk-tuk or something.
Yeah, that's expected.
And that's it. Otherwise, food is so cheap. The prices are listed most places. There's not a ton. I mean, when I go to a store, I was getting a bag and it was at like a more local spot. Like if you go to the night bazaar and it's these street vendors and nothing's priced, then yes, of course. If it's not priced, there's room for negotiation always.
Right.
Otherwise, Chiang Mai's pretty chill like that, and that's something I do like.
For sure.
All right.
Do we haggle for anything here? Cabs sometimes. That's about it.
Yeah.
So Brian, where do you work, man?
Where do I work? Is that the question?
Yeah.
So we do our podcast together, and then Amanda and I both actually work for a company called Praxis that does it's an apprenticeship company, and we work as advisors. So we help participants in the program as they go through and do their apprenticeships. And then I do freelance podcast editing as well for
like 4 podcasts.
Yeah, one's not live right now, but yeah. 3 currently. I think I might just have like a video on there or something. My name's also pretty common.
We have one with the World Wanderers though that has all our episodes on it.
Oh, okay.
But also, so there's a guy.
Another one, like another podcast, not under the World Wanderers.
No.
Like not him. He produces other people's, but he doesn't do one, just himself. But there's a guy who was in jail for a long time named Ryan Ferguson who just recently got out of jail.
That's not you.
I actually get emails from a solid amount of people who have like cases where they believe someone's been falsely convicted or they believe they're falsely convicted, and they somehow find my website and then like email me.
That's funny.
Like here's my case file, like help me. So yeah, it's kind of intense actually.
I don't know how out of jail, California dreaming.
But I'm like, Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to be slightly crazy to think that I'm that guy, so I don't respond to them because I'm like,
yeah, right.
Although I have the urge to say like you got the wrong person. Like if you've gotten to me and haven't figured this out yet, I think you might be on the edge anyways. Plus, you're also in jail.
You're not going to help them.
Yeah, it's really funny though. It's like his website, he writes about like travel and economics and like life philosophy and stuff. It's like clearly not somebody who's been in jail.
Right.
But
Wow.
yeah, do you actually have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't. Well, I think I might have one just like for my name though.
Okay.
We have a YouTube channel if
What's
you
your
like
YouTube
YouTube.
channel?
We can
Mine is,
trade YouTube channels.
Right.
Write it down. I love YouTube.
Yeah, I'll actually start using it more for Thailand. Just to make more videos in Thailand, probably.
Yeah.
Right now,
we
like,
just put up a video series 1 month in Thailand. It's 3 parts. So
We did just do that.
yeah.
Oh, that's
sort of
awesome. We'll have to follow you guys too. I don't think we follow you guys on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, like I do a lot of videos for the company I blog for, so most of my videos go on their channels, but there's a few that I put on Grateful Gypsies that I feel like belong more on our channel because they're more, entirely focused on travel. It's like if I do videos about Chinese food or, Indonesian holidays, stuff that's related to the language and culture, I post it on the company's page, but stuff like this, 1 month in Thailand, I'm like, that's a Grateful Gypsies video, it should go on there. So it's like 3 parts. It's kind of an intense itinerary, but that's how we prefer to travel when we get the chance to just take a month off and go,
Is that your plan for Colombia? Are you guys planning to just do travel, or are you planning to move there?
No, we're like looking at Medellin very seriously. Speaking of digital nomad hubs, I'm in Facebook groups already, looking at like meetups there and what kind of work people are doing, and looking at rooms and apartments for rent. So I guess we're hoping to do like a week to 2 traveling on the north coast, like Cartagena and some of the little islands. This place called Casa in El Agua. It looks awesome. It's like a floating hostel.
Cool.
And then we were hoping to go to Medellin for at least a month. I guess we're gonna kind of improvise a little.
It is our tagline.
It is our tagline.
Improvise your life.
We'd like to stay there for a while, but it's like we're gonna be there at the rainiest month, so we might just kind of check it out, get a feel for how much rent is, and then maybe go to like Ecuador, Peru.
We also really want to go to Peru and Ecuador, and I would really like to see the salt flats in Bolivia and go to Chile and Argentina and Brazil. So most likely we'll only stay in Medellin for 4 to 6 weeks and then move on and keep going through South America.
But there's serious research going on, like as far as which cities we like the most and how much they cost. And we really like Puerto Vallarta, and we could easily stay here, but it's like we set out on this trip intending to do a lot more traveling, and we've been here for 5 months now. So definitely we're going to try and pick it up once we get to South America and move a little more quickly.
I can definitely see us coming back here.
Well, yeah, I mean, we really like it here, and it's like a great place to base down, but, we might find that we like Medellin even more, or I heard Valparaiso, Chile is very nice. A lot of the,
cool.
Yeah, not the biggest cities. We've done that already. We might go with like the second biggest cities and countries.
Yeah. Do you guys know Anne and Brandon from the Yoga Nomads?
What's that?
I said, do you guys know Anne and Brandon from the Yoga Nomads?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I guess we should.
Okay. They're just, so they've been based out of Costa Rica for the last couple months. Then they went home to Minnesota for the summer. And then their plan is Medellin come fall.
Oh, cool. Yoga Nomads?
Yeah, the Yoga Nomads.
Right, we'll have to look them up. I haven't done yoga since we left Bali. I did so much yoga in Bali, and I had to take a hiatus from yoga.
Stockpiled.
Yeah, I built it up, for at least a year. But it's something I would definitely get back into.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yoga?
Did you say hot yoga?
Yoga, yeah, where they pump the thermos to like 120 degrees and make you sweat your balls off.
I haven't tried that yet.
I
want to try the beer yoga. Beer yoga sounds more up my alley.
I'm telling you, don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay, yeah, no.
You don't need the furnace when you're in Bali.
Yoga in Thailand. Yeah, right. Bali was the furnace. It's always hot
Thailand
yoga.
too.
Hot yoga in Bali.
Yeah, there's no cool.
Probably
yoga
Mexico
here.
as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's such a big thing here. We haven't there's a few yoga studios around here, and more in Sayulita up the road, like an hour up the coast. That's a little hippy dippy yoga surfer town, but the internet sucks there. So it's the thing you have to consider, more than anything. Unfortunately, it's like we really liked it up there, but people are like, yeah, you teach English online in a video class, you can't do it here. It's not going to work. So it's like, you got to cross a lot of places off, or you have to just do short trips here and there. We have to find that balance in South America, how we can keep the jobs, work enough to, fund the travels, not burn ourselves out, and then, not cut out of the internet, which, sucks for a variety of reasons. You lose the payment for that class. You maybe lose a student whose parents say, this teacher's not reliable. And it's a fine line you must walk, right?
It's a different beast traveling and working as opposed
for sure
to
it is. I miss being a backpacker and just having money saved. That was great.
Yeah, we've had that as well at points. I think that overall my happiness level is higher just being able to travel because we don't have to stop. We can come home and then we can go again as we want. But yeah, there's definitely been moments where it's I just want to turn off my phone and not check my email for 2 weeks.
Or when
the other day, we went to a friend's place here. He's got a great, awesome view. His family lives way up on the hill, and it's this beautiful view of the bay. And they're having a pool party and cooking and playing poker. And we're like, well, we gotta go home now. It's 8 p.m. We gotta get moving.
Time for bed.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of a long trek to get home, but yeah.
You can't enjoy the travel moments as much sometimes too, unless you're really on top of your organization and have that handled.
No, we can't. We pretty much just have to be all right, let's see you next time.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a travel friend, a couple that we met in South America live in Calgary, which is an hour from where we're living right now. And she just had a baby, so she came out and met up with me. We went for a walk today. She was asking how life compares traveling, having a job on the road versus how we were traveling when we met them in South America. And I was telling her about that, and she said, even though we had a blog, she's people didn't realize that we could do so much of it without good internet and just post when we had it. She's I feel it'd be so hard to plan your trip needing good internet constantly.
It is, because when we did our first longer trip, I was just blogging, and the only place that was a problem was Myanmar, I remember, because Myanmar doesn't have internet, apparently. But everywhere else, it was all right. Maybe the signal cut out somewhere on the beach, and then I could do it later. But with our teaching job, you have to be on there at this time. It has to be fast. It has to be reliable for the whole time. And, there's no room for error, really. Big difference. I mean, if you guys are doing a lot of Skype calls and podcast interviews, it's the same thing, right? You can't deal with bad connections and really slow speeds and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We actually had to run a call using Zoom while we were in Myanmar, and we rerouted ourselves to be in Mandalay, and I spent all this time looking up the hotel with the best Wi-Fi in Mandalay so that we could support a video call.
I think I got nothing done in 3 weeks in Myanmar. I think I got one blog post done in 3 weeks. It was a disaster.
I feel you have that pressure when you have an audience following you, or a vlog, or a commitment like this. You have to be somewhere where you have internet. I feel that's why, answering Brian earlier on, I feel that's why a lot of people go to Chiang Mai, because of the good Wi-Fi. Because if you go, I think personally, if you go to the smaller islands, you probably would have an amazing time, but the Wi-Fi there is not as dependable.
Right.
So. Yeah,
although I think Koh Phangan has a pretty solid expat community.
So does Koh Tao. Well. Yeah, Koh Tao should be pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I think Koh Phangan, I don't know if Koh Tao has co-working spaces, but I think Koh Phangan has at least one, if not two. On the beach side, that's not where the full moon party is, opposite Hadron.
Nobody's working on that side.
No. Just eating... what was that?
Mama Schnitzel?
Mama Schnitzel and
Happy
drinking
pizza.
Buckets.
I love how all of us have Thailand in common. We've been there or we're going there. I don't know why. It's
It's a gateway drug for travel for a lot of people, I think.
That's where we went for our first big backpacking trip.
Yeah. I mean, we were living in China, but the first big travel adventure was Thailand.
I don't know about you guys, but it was that movie, The Beach, that really turned me on to it.
It's a great book, too.
I think that's what turned a lot of people on to
Hey,
it.
can we talk about that? Can we list some movies maybe that give you that, like, wanderlust that really makes you want to fucking travel? I mean, beaches.
Wild.
Oh, geez, I don't know. We don't watch a lot of movies. We like to watch Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown on TV.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Very good.
It's a great travel show.
Into the Wild is great.
Into the Wild is a great book and a movie, yeah. But
there's that Ben Stiller movie that's a little bit corny.
Dude, that's great. I love that movie.
What's that called?
Oh, there's something of something and something.
Ben Stiller, huh? I have no idea.
Oh yeah, The Secret
Life. Yeah, that one's really good.
The Secret Life of Walter
Smitty. Walter Smitty, I think, or something like that.
Guys, ignore the stream. I just copied it from the internet.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
Steam.
A lot of my videos.
Walter Mitty stream?
That's not the one with Ben.
Don't ask us for movies.
Have you guys ever seen An Idiot Abroad?
That's really funny.
No.
That's a good. That's a
show?
great show.
Do you know
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got this friend,
Carl,
who's just like this really, really funny guy. Like he just has that super dry British sense of humor, but to him, everything's terrible. He's the kind of guy that only wants to sit at home all the time, doesn't want to ever feel uncomfortable, and doesn't want to do, things outside of his comfort zone. But
so they send him to.
Ricky Gervais convinces him to be the subject of a TV show where they send him out all over the world to do all of these.
And they send him to like Beijing and Mumbai and Rio and just like chaotic, crowded
they
cities.
Manage to get him to believe that he's gonna be doing one thing, and then he gets there and he's like, "No, actually, you're gonna be doing this, this, this."
They make him like stay in a dingy hostel in Rio during Carnival, and
or they made him stay with this very flamboyantly gay drag queen in Rio when he went for Carnival. Right?
That's a good show. An Idiot Abroad.
An Idiot Abroad.
Yeah, I think they only did 2 seasons, but it's every episode is pure gold.
It's hilarious.
See, we have short attention spans. We watch things in 30, 40-minute increments. That's about it.
Have you guys watched Departures?
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
The Canadian guys, right?
Yeah.
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 That's a really good Canadian TV show.
It's the classic one, man. Like they started from 2008. Like even the.
I know of it. I don't think we've watched it though. I know the name.
It's nice.
It's on Netflix,
like,
isn't it?
You were traveling, you know.
Yeah.
The number 2 show in Canada after Terrence and Phillip.
Wow. Trailer Park Boys is number 1.
I didn't know that.
Terrence and Phillip number 3.
Yeah, Terrence and Phillip's got their bumps.
Yeah, that's their Canadian show on.
I've never even heard of Terrence and Phillip.
They're just the Canadian guys who fart a lot on South Park.
South Park, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Have any of you guys seen Trailer Park Boys before?
We haven't, but
my brothers love it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's like the only good thing that's been made on Canadian TV, other than Departures. And then new Anna Green Gables Netflix show is actually pretty good. So three shows.
If our TV ever gets returned, we'll watch some of these. We came back to Puerto Vallarta and our TV was gone. Our landlady said it's broken.
In other words, she took it.
Pretty much, probably. That's what I think.
That's better. I get more work done.
Wild
true.
is also a good one. That's a great book as well.
It's just called Wild?
Yeah.
Okay.
By Cheryl Strayed. It's a book about a girl who hikes the Pacific Crest Trail.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, is that the movie with what's her guts, the blonde?
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
Here, let me get my Kindle so I
Yeah.
can follow the name of that book.
I don't know. I liked Eat, Pray, Love, as corny as that is.
I did too. I just watched it the other day.
You're so lucky that Sasha didn't hear you say that.
I was like, I've been to Bali. I kind of want to see now that I've been there, I want to see where it's filmed and everything. It was more for the visual than anything else.
Yeah, the book is definitely better than the movie.
Just through the visual. That's like just for the articles Playboy thing.
For the visual. Yeah. I'm like, it really does look like that.
What other movies? I feel like we watched tons.
The Motorcycle Diaries is like a decent one if you're going to South America.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
way
there's a
Mark Sheen in Spain, he does the El Camino walkway from like almost the tip of France all the way to the other side of Portugal. That's a good
I
one.
would love to do that.
I plan on doing it. I don't know if I'll make it, but I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, you might as well try it. I don't think it's too hilly. Like, I don't think it's too challenging. It's just long.
No, it's just long as shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just put a really good book in there. It's a travel book. I stare at a screen all the time, so I've been getting more into reading in my free time than I previously, where I'd previously watch more TV shows and movies. I've been reading more because I get sick of the screen, you know?
That's
Yeah,
fair,
for sure.
yeah.
So that's a really good book. This guy, like, it's like a 6-year trip he took, and he came away with a lot of really good insights, I think, to people and culture and travel and how to do it better and how to get something out of it. And he manages to like tie personal stories in with like a bigger message. And I read that book and I was like, oh man, I just want to grab my bag and go out the door now, you know, but I have to like figure out all these details, you know, flights and squeezing in a visit to her family and getting new passports and asking Airbnb hosts if their internet is fast enough. And
Yeah. We get
you're
that.
grounded,
That's annoying.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, the ones I posted are actually not like movies, but like YouTubers that do like constant video.
Oh, I know the Vaga brothers. They won that contest. I joined a few years ago. Those guys are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know of them as well.
Los LeBlanc is actually Canadian. I think he's from Alberta.
Oh, really?
Like that.
I've seen his too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm from Alberta.
I think so. I'm not really sure because he did like I think a special episode about Alberta. Like the tourism board of Alberta like sponsored him to do like this video thing. So
that's cool.
That's why. Yeah, I know Canada through him. I mean, not personally, but through his video.
Right.
Well, you should come visit. We're probably in the places where he made videos of.
Probably.
Yeah.
We live just outside. We live like just outside of Banff National Park. So.
Oh, sweet! I really want to go there.
Yeah, you guys should come. It's so beautiful here.
Recently, like I went to a conference that happened here in my country. It basically tells you how to be a permanent resident in 2 countries, Australia and Canada. And man, they told me about Canada. I felt like it was impossible because you guys have a pointing system where you have to. I'm not really sure if you guys know about it because obviously you're citizens, but you have to have like certain points. So if you worked in Canada previously, you have like certain amount of points as an advantage. If you don't, you have to speak, for example, French if you want to go to Quebec. And it's like a pointing system that shows you, your portfolio. So then you get like elected if they will accept you or not. So it's for me like, yo, that shit too hard. I'll just go to
I swear to God, when Trump got elected, I looked right at that, and I started looking at all the prerequisites and everything, and it was like more stringent than any other country to enter for an American. Which
you're going in the wrong direction. You got to come this way. It's easier.
Way easier.
Yeah, no shit.
Mexico, amigo.
Mexico's like, hey, here you are, 6 months. Come on in.
Yeah.
I think
if you have like a management job in Canada and you speak fluent English, I think you can get permanent residency pretty easily, but you have to like tick all their boxes or they won't give it to you.
Right.
Yeah, and for Americans, there's a number of jobs that are covered under NAFTA, but it's kind of like one of those weird things where it's like specific things, and if you don't fall into that like right section, then you're hooped.
I did really like that South Park last season when Canadian Trump builds the wall with the U.S. to keep the Americans out. That was good.
It is kind of funny though. So like we have, Justin Trudeau, he like trots out there and like tweets about being like welcoming to immigrants, etc. But like Canada's immigration policy, like if you actually looked at it compared to the U.S., it is like tougher in a lot of significant ways. But everyone's like,
you're welcome to apply, but you might not.
Yeah, it's like, we'll welcome everyone. But you've got to fill out, get a certain number of points. If you don't, we're going to deport you or just not let you in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting too because marriage doesn't really play like a huge part, which is like in the U.S. if you're married to an American, you can get your green card pretty easily. But But like we have a number of friends who are Australian who are married to Canadians, and like my one friend got married last year, and she's not in a high enough position with Lululemon to get them to sponsor her work visa. So her husband's company sponsored her work visa to get her residency.
Wow.
Because like otherwise she was going to have to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
And like she's married to a Canadian, like she's legally married. I was like, that's so
bad.
absurd that they're going to send you home. But yeah, I mean, every country has pros and cons, I guess.
For sure.
Man, we got some homework to do here. I'm looking at the chat bar there. Jeez. my next month's gonna be full of YouTube and books here. That's good.
That's what this is about, right? Sharing ideas.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
definitely. Thanks for
So
that.
what do you guys think about like having a permanent residency though in a country? Do you think like it's worth it, or it's like better to just like travel and stay like in each country like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months?
It's hard to get permanent residency. I think you really have to be in it to win it there. Like we really like it here, and if we wanted to, we could get the ball rolling for Mexico, because you have to, unless you're retired and you have like, pension and social security income, whatever, you have to like prove that you're making X amount of dollars a month to support yourself to get the ball rolling. And like we could do that, but then it's like,
it's like a 5-year.
Yeah, it takes another 4 years, and it's like we really like it here, but we're not ready to say like, oh yeah, we're gonna be here for 5 years. So we're just gonna, use our visa-free visits, for this go around, and go do the same for South America, and where we have to, like Brazil or Bolivia, pay for the visa and just visit in that time. And I think you really have to be super into a place to start getting that ball rolling, because it's a lot of paperwork, money, time. I mean, you're going to probably need doctor's appointments and copies of everything. And I mean, unless you're like trying to start a business or get married to someone there, I don't know.
Because you have to get a permanent residency first, and those are good for a year, but then you have to renew them every year.
That's just Mexico. I mean, every country's different.
Well,
but
yeah, every country has different policies, but there's always money and time and paperwork involved.
We're not trying to do that anytime soon, personally. I mean, we're pretty okay with taking the, time that some countries give you and paying for the visas and others and working around that.
We've thought about it for tax purposes, because taxes are really high in Canada. Trying to find somewhere that we could be residents of that has lower tax rates, like we've talked about. I mean, kind of like in casual conversation, talked about Panama, because their tax rates are, do they even have tax rates?
Not on worldwide income.
Yeah, so they don't have tax rates on worldwide income, which means like if we were permanent residents of Panama, we could stop paying taxes. That would save us so much money.
But it's really, like you have to go live somewhere for a long time. And I think it's
right. You don't
when you work,
do it.
When you're like self-employed or like doing a whole bunch of small jobs as opposed to like getting hired by one company, it makes it a lot harder for visas, most countries as well. So
yeah,
our plan for the near term future is just to keep being tourists wherever we go.
Right. You're not breaking any rules.
Yeah. I think I heard like if you work abroad, like if you're American, you work abroad for like, I think 11 months or a certain amount of months. Then when you go back, you don't have to pay tax in the U.S. Is that correct or something like that?
Yeah, it's complicated.
It's really complicated.
We could do a whole seminar on that.
So it depends on your job, but
Depends on your job,
the
for
rule
sure.
that you're talking about is if you are out of America for 330 days out of the year, which is about 11 months, then you don't have to pay federal income tax.
So like we're self-employed, so it doesn't matter how long we're in or out of the country, we have to pay self-employment tax.
We have to pay the 15.3% self-employment tax no matter what. Doesn't matter that we work for a Chinese company and that we're currently living in Mexico. Doesn't matter.
But then it also doesn't matter if we spend more than 30 days at home this year, which we will. We don't have to pay federal tax on that income.
Right.
So
that's the difference.
It doesn't. I don't know.
There's pros and cons to any situation.
It's complicated.
Brian, that's a good thing about coming to my country, man. If you come to my country, no tax, bro. Nothing. We don't pay tax.
But when we were working for companies in China, we didn't pay any taxes to America because we
pay taxes in China.
Right, we pay taxes in China, and that in that situation, up to $108,000 is tax free. If we were to make more than $108,000 in a year, we would have to pay tax.
Spoiler alert, we didn't.
On that, yeah.
Yeah, that's our friend Becky who lives in Tokyo. She's been on the podcast before. She is a permanent resident of Japan, and so she won't have to pay taxes in the U.S. until she's making more than that, like 108.
Right.
And she's the same, like she's teaching English in Japan, so she's also not making
Not gonna
100
make
over
that
100.
much.
No. She's like, yeah, I'm not close to that. I'm not too stressed.
Yeah.
Yusuf,
Yeah.
Is there a lot of places you need visas to travel as a citizen of Bahrain? Or are there visa-free countries?
Man, unfortunately, yeah. I'll give you guys a quick update if you keep up with the news. Bahrain is part of the GCC countries. It's like 6 countries: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, UAE, and Oman. Actually 5. Yeah, so five of these countries Gulf Cooperation Council. So you can travel to these countries by land, even with just your identity card, because they have kind of thing going on. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
But recently, they say Qatar supported terrorism or some
Right.
shit like that. So they're actually banning people from Bahrain to travel to Qatar. So we can't go to Qatar, and Qatar basically doesn't have any port of entry either by sea or by airports from any country in the region, whether it's Egypt, Morocco, Saudi Arabia. So basically they're getting messed about this. But other than that, other than GCC countries, we can go to Thailand without visa, Indonesia.
Yeah.
Some places like Uruguay, I think. But most places I have to apply for a visa, unfortunately. And man, because my country is so small, they don't have a embassy here. So you have to send your papers to neighboring countries,
And wait,
which they charge you again for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the U.S., obviously we have. I actually lived in the U.S. as an exchange student. That's why I'm really interested in traveling a lot, because since I was a kid, high school, I did a internship there, exchange student. But they arranged everything for me as a visa. But in terms of apply again, I feel I would have an advantage somehow because I've been there twice. Yeah. But other than that, we don't really have anything special in terms of visa, unfortunately. I know a U.S. passport. That's why, man, I was thinking when I have a kid, I want to move to the States or Canada. I'm not gonna say States. I really liked Canada.
That's why I told Rachel. I was like, well, we just have to look at it that the self-employment tax we pay, as much as we bitch about it, it's for our passport, which is the golden ticket for a lot of places.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely don't take it for granted.
We've talked about having trying to have a kid in a different country though. So you if you're Canadian parents, you get Canada automatically. So we're we should just have a kid somewhere else to diversify their portfolio. So, have it New Zealand maybe, or somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
The government is trying to stop that. I think they call it
anchor babies.
Birth tourism or something like that.
Birth tourism. Yeah. We'll shift the podcast to focus on that niche. Birth tourism.
A lot of my students in China were really interested in that.
Oh yeah.
They book a flight to Seattle 8 months and 8.5 months pregnant.
Yeah.
It's we know what you're doing.
I'm just wearing a winter jacket. Put on some weight.
Yeah.
Just bad indigestion.
I love those cheeseburgers in America. I gotta say, nothing to see here.
Rachel,
so
which
funny.
state are you from? Rachel and Sasha, which state are you guys from?
I'm from Tennessee.
Tennessee and Michigan.
He's from Michigan.
All right, nice. And
Where-
Brian,
where
you're
did you
Florida,
live?
right?
I'm from here. Oh, there's the hand. Yeah.
Is that how it looks on the map?
It looks like a hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Where did you live in the U.S.?
Oh man, it's boring. Missouri.
Iowa, Missouri. Okay.
Oh, that's boring.
States, Missouri and North Carolina, but North Carolina was much better, man.
North Carolina's cool.
Where in
North Carolina is awesome.
I have so much family from North Carolina. I went to university in North Carolina.
We got married in North Carolina.
Yeah, we got married in North Carolina.
All right, frozen.
Everybody go to North Carolina, but use the right bathroom. Right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's too bad that he froze.
Oh, that's too bad. He's probably tired too. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning there.
Yeah, that's crazy. You stayed up all night.
Brian, what's your travel plan so far? For like, do you have a flight booked to Spain?
No, not as of yet. The links that I posted earlier, or the Points Guy and Churning, those are things that I use to get free tickets all the time. I just open up credit cards over here. You have to spend a certain amount.
Yeah.
Like round trip tickets to anywhere you want to go. So I have like 8 round trip tickets to anywhere I want to go, and all I have to do is book it. But somebody hit my car, and it's been in the shop for the last 3 weeks, and I was supposed to do it more than a month ago. So I was supposed to pick it up today, and then it just keeps going, delaying. They're like, yeah, it'll be ready this day. It'll be ready this day. So as soon as I get this car complete and sell it, like on eBay, is what I'm going to plan to do. Then I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going straight to Spain, and hopefully I might make some of the ferias, the festivals that they have going on during the summer. That's what I'm really trying to hit. But
yeah, that's awesome.
But I'm just going to do everything on a whim. I'm just going to go over there for like maybe 2 weeks, set a foundation, and then just try to find some place to move month to month. Just jump around country since I have free tickets to stay.
What do you do for a living, Brian?
I'm a consultant to financial advisors, so I just work with a laptop and talk to financial guys all day.
Digital Nomad.
Yeah. Well, let's see. All I need is a phone and an internet connection. I can work from anywhere, and I'm finally doing it.
Awesome. What about you,
Yeah,
Ashley?
that's great.
Moving out with him?
This one? Me? No.
No, she's learning.
Yeah. This is why he invited me. Like this, I've always wanted to do this. So.
Cool.
That's cool. What do you do right now?
She was asking what you do.
Oh, me. I'm a social media manager here in Orlando. So right now I'm a cubicle warrior, and I can feel my soul.
Cubicle warrior.
Like, yes, it's killing me. Like, I don't want this life. Like, I need to get out there. So I'm just trying to figure out how, So this is helping. This is great.
That seems like a job you could move to a remote situation.
I can absolutely. I don't need to be in an office to be a social media.
You just got to convince somebody to let you do that.
I can do that anywhere. So that's my goal. Yeah.
I think
that's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
Do like a freelance, like you get like the bigger places, like hotels and these places.
Yeah.
You can tell them, hey, your social media is basically crap. I can
let me help you. That's what I plan to do. It's this. Everybody I meet.
You got Allie doing the photography. She's doing the social media. Me, I'm going to be the drunk in the background
pictures. Sasha and Rachel will teach English to anyone who needs it. Ryan and I will make podcast episodes about the shenanigans. Yusuf will make it into video.
Yep.
Oh, I know all about the tomato fights.
Yeah, I was like, are you going to do that? Like,
I will absolutely do that. Running the bulls, you can fuck off. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to kill this.
No,
we went to Running the Bulls, didn't participate, but it's really fun to go to.
It's really
as a spectator. Watch people die. It's fantastic.
No one died.
I
feel like someone might have broken their back while we were watching.
I know. I just busted your chops.
Yeah, Ryan wanted to run, but kind of wanted to run. But the whole thing is you go to the festivities are all night. So you stay up all night and then Running the Bulls in the morning.
Sweet.
And I was like, if you want to run with bulls, you need to sleep and you need to not be drunk.
Right. It's one of those ideas that
travel
sounds
insurance
more and more appealing as the more sangria you drink. And then it's 4 a.m. and you're these Australians who are like, we're going to go run with the bulls. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should do that.
Don't listen to Australians at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I was 21 at the time, so I'm wiser now.
I don't even listen to Australians at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yusuf, that's a good recommendation. La Fallas, my family lives in Valencia, and my mom and my sister and everybody went from here to go over there to go to Valencia to go check that out. And it's kind of like Burning Man in the middle of a plaza or something like that. They put all these huge paper mache things or just huge sculptures, and they just burn everything up. And it's nothing but fireworks and hundreds of thousands of people in the streets crowded just like this.
Wow.
Add that to the list.
Photography for you right there.
I missed it. I was supposed to be there until some asshole hit my car. I was supposed to be there.
That's the worst.
You'll be there soon enough.
I am. I know. I'm not sweating it. The world's not going anywhere anytime soon.
And yeah, you
No,
can go to
it's
the
not.
tomato fight. I want to go to that next year. That looks
Fingers
awesome.
crossed, yeah.
So let's talk about that. What's like the best experience you guys have had? It doesn't have to be like party-wise, but culturally wise. What was one event that you guys had done that kind of filled your soul up for that travel? And you're like, you know what? It's probably not known that much, but everybody needs to experience La Fallas or the Blue Moon Party. What would everybody say was that one thing? Tomorrowland, Belgium.
There you
We
go.
just talked about that today, actually.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's a big one.
I gotta
Answer
show
that
you the
question?
flag, bro.
That's a good
Look at
question.
the
I like that.
That is a good question.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like for like a festival, Running the Bulls has been my favorite.
The butterfly.
Mardi Gras in New Orleans was actually really cool. We went to
I did
Carnival in Rio. Carnival in Rio is also really cool, but Mardi Gras really surprised me. I was like, oh, this is way more fun than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be kind of like, I kind of want to leave.
Yeah.
How nice. Did you catch that?
That's Yusuf,
Tomorrow.
that's Tomorrow World.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
Uh,
I
Sorry.
heard it was crappy, man, because it was muddy, right?
The last one was, but the ones before that were awesome.
Yeah.
You can't handle a little mud at a festival, and you got no place going to a festival. That's what I say.
Is that the one that was in Atlanta, near Atlanta?
Yes.
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 Okay, yeah. I think I wasn't living in
guys went
Atlanta
to
at the
that?
time where the mud happened, and it was just like because they weren't letting
Yeah.
like cars
That was a
go,
disaster,
and
yeah.
like no one could get there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
I read
it
about
was
that.
a logistical mess. That's what happened. It was.
They're
unfortunate.
getting sued.
Yeah, I
Oh
think so.
yeah, to oblivion. It was a mess.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate what happened because like it was that was the third year it happened where everything went wrong, but the first and second years were just
We're
flawless.
fine. Yeah. Shit happens at festivals. It's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, exactly.
So tomorrow, and then I'm sorry, Amanda and Ryan, what were you guys saying?
I think for me, probably Running of the Bulls. It's just one where you're like there and you're like, holy crap, like I can't believe I'm here. And this, it's just like so unique coming from like North America too, where
Oh, the
You know,
perspective
that
is
would-
cultural.
that
it's
would
just like
never
it's just a
happen.
gigantic party in the street. Everyone's drinking like sangria that you buy for like $1 at a convenience store. But you can like walk in and out of bars with your sangria that you've bought. And you can go to the bull ring and you like bring your own alcohol in, you bring your own food in. Like no one's really trying to like make money doing anything. Only
Right.
one bar we went into wouldn't let us bring our own sangria into it.
We're like, okay, we'll go to the neighboring bar then that'll let us bring our
But yeah, just the
$1
streets
donuts
packed with people. There's like fireworks every night at 10 p.m. and then people just drink all night. And then at like 6 a.m. there's, Running of the Bulls happens. And then there's this chaos that happens in the bull ring afterwards. So that's probably the one for me.
That sounds awesome. What do you think,
Yeah,
T-Girl?
it's really
What's yours?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
I think one really cool thing that stands out to me is when we lived in China, we'd always leave for Chinese New Year because we'd have like a long vacation, and Beijing was like really cold and windy and just a ghost town in Chinese New Year basically. So why would you stay there? You always want to get out. We went to Thailand, we went to the Philippines. We'd always travel, but then when we lived in Yunnan province, we had already done our gap year very recently after moving there or before moving there. So it was like, we didn't really have the money, the time, or the energy to do a huge thing. And a guy we had met a few years earlier invited us to his village to celebrate the New Year because he's like, oh, you can't stay in the city. There's nothing to do. You guys should come to my village. We barely knew the guy. He was a friend of a friend we met once. And so we went out to his, remote mountainous village in southwest China and slept on like a wood board and just ate and drank all day and lit off fireworks.
Stayed in
And,
his family's house with grandma and grandpa and
it
brothers and nieces and nephews, and
was really cool because we had
it
been
was a
so
very
used to,
cultural experience.
yeah, we'd been used to like Chinese New Year's. Oh, let's go with everybody else, get out and go on vacation. And finally, which turned out to be our last year there, we went and had the real authentic, Chinese New Year experience. And it was, at first people would look like, these random white people are walking up the village. But by the end of the 2 days, everybody's cheersing with you and dancing with you and giving you way more cigarettes than you ever want to smoke in your life. And I didn't like that part, but the whole experience was awesome. And I really like when that kind of stuff happens. I had a teacher in Bali invite me to a cremation ceremony in his village. So, not that going to a funeral in and of itself was such an amazing thing, but to be invited and welcomed into something like that, and it's very, spiritual and unique.
Well, that sells a lot because, there's different cultures that handle that differently. And one of the best places in the world to experience a funeral is going to be New Orleans. They actually have
the marching
tubas,
bands,
trombones, and full bands, and they dance in the streets and get drunk off their asses celebrating the person's life. So
in Bali, they had guys on motorbikes selling ice cream and meatball soup at the funeral. So that was funny.
Separate dishes, right?
Yeah, like they pull up on their motorbike, with the little makeshift cooler restaurant, whatever setup. So one guy had meatball soup, and I got it, and it was really spicy, and I got ice cream from the other guy at a funeral where they're burning a body inside this big bowl thing made out of paper mache. It was pretty wild.
Yeah,
I like those experiences when people invite you, to celebrate their holidays or very personal, intimate things like weddings, funerals, birthday parties. I mean, it's cool because my family and friends I know in Michigan aren't going to invite some, strange Asian man off the street to come in for Christmas. Like, they just don't do that.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate when people do that for us. They can, probably sense when you're a lost foreigner, and some people try to take advantage of you, but when those, people open their doors and open their arms to you, it keeps you wanting more, and you can deal with all the crap when stuff like that happens, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, for you guys, it will sound like so simple, but one of the best memorable times of my life when I actually had Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner with my host family in the U.S. Yeah. And for you guys, normal thing, but for me, an Arab Muslim, I never had this,
Right.
It's really amazing to see, to be a part of that, family at that time. It's very sacred for them to have a Christmas dinner. People flying from every state, and I'm there, in the middle of, the table. It's it makes you appreciate these little things.
Beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool to hear from the perspective of, it's just what we do, right? So it becomes this thing that's still sacred, but you don't think about it as something that's sacred, I guess, as much. You just think about it as something that you do.
You take it for granted.
It's the same thing every year. Yeah, it's kind of
oh
yeah,
it's just
oh,
Mom,
here we are again.
Can you make a different dessert? Why do you always have to make the same apple pie? Yeah, there's something that's amazing about that.
I mean, it is the same right now with Ramadan. It's just for me, it's oh man, I gotta fast again. Even though I'm not really religious. I drink and I do all the bad stuff, but for me, it's still kind of a tradition becoming mixed between religious thing and tradition, because all the people around me fast, so you might as well want to fast, it's just to not look dumb.
When we eating in front of them, hey guys, how's it going? Oh, sorry about that.
You actually get jailed for that shit, bro.
Yeah, okay, I definitely don't do that.
Whoa. So, you ate recently, right? And then you're just gonna go until 1 a.m. or something before you eat again today?
I stopped eating at 3. Well, man, I shouldn't say stopped eating. I smoked my last cigarette at 3, man.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me, man. At 3, and then you start eating at 6
p.m.
Afternoon. Yeah, but it's pretty decent because it makes me drink less alcohol. Which 11 months of my every year I just constantly drink. 1 month is a
1 month you can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with smoking as well and everything. That's why
this is a very serious question with Bahrain and Ramadan. Are there any type of facilities that actually put your ass into a coma or make you go to sleep so you don't have those cravings? I always wondered that if there's a business, some entrepreneur is listen, hey, you don't want to deal with this bullshit? Listen, we'll put you to sleep. You won't even wake up.
The whole month.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I've always wondered. If not, I'm going to open it.
Get you an IV hooked up.
It's a good thing, man. Actually, I was thinking of that today. I was thinking man, what if I open a co-working space? I mean, technically, but because when you want to study or want to work, you need to be in a coffee shop, and every coffee shop is closed because it's Ramadan,
Right.
So it's man, I gotta fucking open a place where still people go there, But actually,
it'd be a tough time of year to be a restaurant entrepreneur.
Yeah, right.
You're just oh shit.
You got to do your business in another 11 months.
Yeah,
For
actually,
sure.
hotels actually they don't really close. So hotels they still have chefs that do breakfast, because in the end you're paying for your room with breakfast technically, and all of that. So they don't really change it. And some
That would be the
restaurants-
tough job, being a cook who has to cook the food but can't eat the food.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's I applaud my mom and my grandfather.
Right.
Grandma. I don't know how they cook without like tasting, But I think
Right.
they just know how to cook that certain meal. If it was like a new meal, they'd probably fuck it up. I wouldn't tell them that. Well, man, yeah, it's good because like recently, like man, I have a lot of friends in the U.S., but like some of them are actually starting like to throw some comments like about what's happening, like about like Trump and Muslims and whatsoever. That's why, man, I keep like traveling just to prove people that they're wrong about countries like us, in this region, because I feel like there's a misconception going on. And
likewise, man, me going to the United States, I don't want people to think that we're like fucking Trump whatsoever.
No,
Like,
you got to
I
be an
want to show people that
ambassador.
we're all about culture. I'm all about experiences, all about love. Fuck the other bullshit. I didn't hire that guy. If I could fire him, I'd fire him. But it shouldn't be about that. And I know exactly what you're saying.
True, man. Brian, are you like, what's your ethnicity? Are you like American or?
I was born and raised basically, but my half of my family's from Spain, half the other family is from Yugoslavia when it was a nation.
Okay. So you're going to like your kind of like your roots, huh? You're
Going to the roots.
Just for a little bit of time, but I mean, when I'm talking to you guys, like I don't want to stay there. I want to go throw myself out there in the universe, see where I'm going to like the most. I'm going to go somewhere each month, though. I don't plan on staying.
Take those points and do it.
Yeah, you'll
You can
fall in
just
love
move
with
around.
Spain. You can easily do the Andalusia part. Like you can go to Sevilla, Malaga. You can go to Gibraltar, and if you want, man, you can visit Morocco as well. Because Morocco is like 20 minutes.
Close, all right.
20 minutes.
I've already done all that. That's where my family is from, is Andalusia and Valencia. But I've already
Try
seen
something new.
or I want to go experience fucking Chiang Mai. I never even knew about Chiang Mai until I went on this video thing. I had no idea about it.
Oh, man.
Thanks, Allie.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, for real. There's so many parts of the world to discover, and it's like I don't want to go back to where I was. I've already been. I just want to keep going, keep moving, keep going somewhere new.
That's the thing. I feel like I always want to take like a new country in the list. Like Thailand, I've been there. Like I've been only there one day, but
Then go back.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's okay. You're allowed to go back one day.
one day. I mean,
That's
2 days.
nothing.
I mean, yeah, 2 days.
Go
But I
stay
went
for
to-
a month or more.
So how many countries you guys been to? Like estimation probably.
I'm
Each
not,
with, like,
we're at like 17 or 18. We're under 20. Or around 20, I think.
I think I'm closing in on like 55.
Like I'm high 40s.
No, you've hit 50 now, I think.
I think I'm at 49 when I counted recently.
No, I thought you said that it was 50.
So if I count North Korea, because we went to the DMZ and like kind of, so
Well,
you
you
Cross
can
over the
technically,
line.
you
go.
technically
So if I
crossed.
count North Korea, I could say 50, but I don't.
That's a tough one. I wouldn't count that one
wouldn't
personally,
count
but some cheaters would.
Yeah.
It's debatable because
Yeah.
it's like you've crossed the line. So it's like I was actually talking to my friend today. She's like, "What is your what is your definition of when you've actually been to the country?" Because she has a new baby, and they took their baby. They flew through LA, but they left the airport and they spent like 8 hours there, and so they're counting that their baby's been to the U.S. And I was like, I think that's legit.
No. Yeah, and in the airport.
Once you've
Yeah,
been
I
outside of
once I went
LAX,
outside
you've
the-
been to America.
Yeah,
They left the
Oh,
airport.
okay, so
They
you have
left
to
the
leave the
airport.
airport.
They spent
Definitely
8
have to
hours
leave
in
the
LA. She's like, we saw the Hollywood side. The
That
baby
counts,
was
That
yeah.
totally
in
counts
That
for
counts.
sure. You
I
I
was
hate
like, she's
peop-
definitely been to the U.S.
I hate people who count the airport. They're like, yeah, I've been to the airport. No, you haven't been there then.
No, you can't do that. It's so
Every
cheating.
airport looks the same.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
that's
you have
what
to leave the airport.
we were
for
talking
sure.
about Taiwan because we spent a month in Taiwan. But before that, I was like, I hadn't really thought about the fact that I had like 2 8-hour layovers there. I never left the airport, so I wasn't like, it's
No,
not like
yeah.
I was like, hey guys, I've been to Taiwan. Like I
No.
spent 8 hours in the Taipei airport.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, I wonder, do people count that? I don't know. So.
Cheaters do.
I don't. you don't leave the airport, it doesn't count. I mean, I left the airport in Kuala Lumpur for like 5 hours, and I even have a hard time saying that counts, you know?
But you're going back to Malaysia, right? So.
Yeah, for like a couple weeks. I'm excited.
Then that'll count for sure. There'll be no doubt.
Oh, definitely. But, yeah.
If it wasn't checked off before, you'll check it off soon.
I did check it off because I've done it twice. I left the airport. I spent the night.
That counts.
I spent hours in a hostel, so I kind of I count it.
She stayed in like one of those what's it called? Those
pods.
That pod hotel or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I had to try it because it looks cool. It was cool.
They are cool.
Oh, there's no way in hell I'd fit in that thing. I'm 6'4". I would never fucking fit in that.
Not in an Asian one, no.
At the one in Kuala Lumpur, I think that you would, because I'm 5'9", and I still had like plenty of room.
No shit. Wow. Yeah. I did not expect that.
No. I know, because I'm tall too. I was like, oh, are these because they're in Asia, are they for small people? But I had
Well, it makes sense to build them a little bigger, right? So you accommodate different, types of travelers. And if you are small, you have a ton of space. You got room to keep your bag in there.
$1.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, we built a little bit more for you, so we're charging you more.
This is the foreigner's capsule.
Giant foreigner price.
Yeah. Okay, this conversation's been so fun. I feel like we should wrap it up though, because I know it's getting late where all you guys are. It's gonna be
it is about past a teacher's bedtime here.
It's our bedtime, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
Yoda's already sleeping.
He's like, I'm ready for tomorrow. Don't worry.
He had a long night tonight. Yeah.
Guys, can you just write down like your Facebook or like Instagram, whatever, so I can like add all of you?
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then next week we've got Peter Niger is coming to answer questions and just hang out. He was on the podcast, I think, in March, perhaps April, and he's actually ridden his bike across America twice and has been to like 30-something states on his bike.
Wow.
With no bike experience.
Yeah, he'd never ridden a bike long distance before and hopped on his bike, quit his job in Washington, D.C. and headed to L.A.
Like, he's hilarious. He's like, we're like, were you a biker before? He's like, no. He's like, I made it like 17 miles outside of the city before I broke down.
Awesome.
So yeah, he's just super fascinating. Tons of cool experience like bike touring. He wrote a book about his experience with the bike and just like camping all over America. So he's got a lot of interesting experience.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, so he's just like open to any questions about travel, stopping travel, choosing how to go, where to go, and that sort of thing. So I think he'll be pretty fun to talk to.
Sounds like a good time. We can do Tuesday nights.
Sounds like a good ride for me because I always listen in the car, like in the car. Just like listen to the podcast and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
It's much better than listening to music. I love music, but songs, but I feel like you want to use your time to even like listen to something that, and you guys do that great. Thank you guys. I love your fucking podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks,
We appreciate that.
We just saved the chat. Everybody else should do that because there's so many.
Okay, I was just trying to figure that out. How do you? Oh, it's
Rachel figured it out in the bottom corner.
It has the drop-down menu right above where you can chat. The only option is to save.
Click
chat.
more and then save chat, so you'll get all the links, all the book and movie and festival and Instagram recommendations. Keep us busy for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, is this your Instagram or what? The one you put, Ryan Ferguson.
So Ryan has a personal one as well. I just don't remember what it is.
Yeah, I just started Instagram like a month and a half ago after not doing it for like 6 years. So that's my personal
if you just
one.
want to follow both of us, it's the World Wonders podcast.
We just have one Instagram. I just let Rachel do it. She's just Grateful Gypsies.
Ashley Lawrence, is that you? This one?
Yeah, that's her.
Yes, that's me.
Okay.
Cool.
And hey,
Let's
actually,
connect.
you got to quit your job and travel.
You gotta quit your
I'm
job.
gonna do it. I'm gonna stop being scared and just do it.
Yeah,
Life's too
YOLO,
short.
These
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. You won't regret it. You can always get another job.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's very
true.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks
for hosting.
Cool.
Nice talking to
Yeah,
y'all.
of course.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Next time.
See you.